Get yourself out my kitchen, cause this pot hot and whipping till it rock, then you know it's on the block. You can tell I'm different, been this way, can't you tell the difference?
Another day in the jungle. Here we go. These platforms, man. What is it about young black men and Latino men in this case that come from nothing and are blessed to get a lot, to sit on here and speak, to be just to be, you know, just to be like kind of like messy, right? Fat Joe and Kiss, I've known them for a long time, each one of them. It's amazing to see the progression they have done on their show, which I'm sure maybe Fat Joe probably had a lot to do with that. He had a vision, and that shit's working. And they've been blessed, just been part of the new Netflix deal. I love their, when they're talking about hip hop, because they're both legends and their catalogs are amazing, both of them. But then, and even it's like, it's kind of cool when Joe kind of tells the stories, you know, like the crazy stories, because it's kind of animated and it's not influencing in any way these kids to do crazy shit, right? Because we know how influential that these platforms with social media, with the internet, how influential they are to young kids, especially kids in the struggle and in the hoods, right? So when it seems like right after maybe he did this before the deal or whatever, but I see the one where he's on there with Tony Yayo, and then he just comes out and says how they jumped Young Buck in Chicago. I'm trying to figure out, man, like, what possessed you to do that, Joe. Like, it seems like you took on the responsibility to have a platform that wasn't going to be about all that. Especially when men are in their 50s and 60s. Why would you want to rehash that? You got kids, older kids. Buck got older kids, man. Why would you want to, like, if that happened, yeah, you know, there's a lot of stories. I'm about to tell mine right now. But before I do that, we got so many stories probably of violent situations with each other in the industry. Why rehash it now? For what? I mean, this was what, 20-something years maybe ago? 20 years ago maybe. Why bring that up to embarrass that man because Tony Yayo was on? Because Tony Yayo was on your platform? Why didn't you ask Tony Yayo about when Cash Out Lotto from Brooklyn, from Brownsville, poured the cereal on his head in Rikers? Since y'all want to tell these stories so much, and he's just like you. He uses these platforms to get on there and tell all these war stories so that his fans can be impressionable as far as how they look at him. And when I say impressionable, meaning, you know, look at him as a tough guy, and he thinks that's good. See, when these older guys want to tell their stories and then they get the clicks and comments, it's usually from people that never lived that life. Not even the same culture, but they like to be intrigued by this type of content because that's what they like to watch on the movies. But when they're seeing young black and Latino men actually doing it in real life, killing each other and going through crazy shit, that's intriguing to them and they like to comment. So when you got guys who are trying to make themselves look good, and I understand everybody has stories to tell, even the real guys, I get it, but it has to be some type of responsibility, not to bring up old shit, to try to rehash violence that happened when you was younger and a lot more less mature. Because we all got stories. Joe, what about the story with me and my guys, the RSO? I think maybe it was How Can I Be Down years ago. And I guess we was at Privé. It was deep in there. I remember Pun, rest in peace. I think Cube was there, Mac 10. And I was with a gang of my Boston niggas, right? We was walking towards each other. One of your guys with the glasses, I think he was your manager, I don't know. Said I was in front, he was in front. I had about 20, 30, 40 niggas. You probably had, y'all was deeped up. The man said something to me and I stole him. Bang! Broke his glasses and all hell broke loose. Remember that? I think you ran to the front while Cuban and Triple Sace and all them niggas was all fighting us. We won that one. The crazy shit is that me, Triple Sace, and Cuban, we talked about that like men. And then I ended up working with them, I remember, on Baby Pun's album. Right? Before we get to that, but do you remember that day though? You bounced. You wasn't fighting with them. You went to the front. And we and it was a big ass gang beef and we tore that place up. You remember that? Now, how about now, fast forward, I get my son Ray Ray a deal because me and Ray Ray did a video in LES Projects, Shine Like My Son, and everybody, all the guys brought their kids down. Kiss brought his son down. Jam Master Jay brought his son down, rest in peace. Guru brought his son down, rest in peace. A bunch of people brought their sons down. Tretch, I mean, we can go on and on. The guy from the Beat Nuts, man, like, but that's when I met Chris, Big Pun's son, with Liza and the girls. Ray Ray was 7, 8 years old. We used, Little Romeo came down with P. We was in the school, we shot in the school in LES Projects, and like, I remember we got close to him, we was eating lunch and I was just kicking it with him. I was like, damn, and I had an idea, like, man, he was the same age as Ray Ray, which they call Chavo now, my son, my firstborn. And I put a group together called 3 Down. Now, at this time, you know, Lies in them, it wasn't doing so well. I remember it vividly. And they would come and we would kick it, and I just, you know, I got kind of attached to the kids. The little girls, they wasn't, one thing about them at the beginning, they didn't, you could tell they didn't let people in their world too much. They didn't trust people. It just was like real quiet. But as we got doing the album and stuff, man, I got to really get close to them. I remember I got a deal with Interscope. It was Ray Ray, Baby Pun, Chris, and a little singer named James out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. Now, Baby Pun and Ray Ray were like 9 years old, I think, 10 years old. Lil James was about 13, 14, but he was real small. So they all was like the same size, and we called them 3 Down. Jimmy Iovine gave us, we did $1 million deal. Jimmy gave us, I think, $450,000. Before the courts even cleared them, he loved them so much. We shot a video with Benny Boom. We did the Bronx Tale up there in the Bronx, used the same bus as the movie. We spent a lot of money on that video. But look, Liza and them I gave them, Ray Ray's mother, Liza, and Lil James' mother, over $100,000 a piece. We only got half of the deal. I didn't even take anything, because I knew that would help them. Joe gets wind of it and says he wants to meet me. I'm in Miami. Meet me? I think Macho called Dave and said, yeah, Joe wants to meet you about this. I'm like, really? I went and met him, strapped up, alone, and it was at a hotel, and he was in the middle of this conference room inside the hotel in South Beach, like a movie scene or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I go up to him, and he says, yeah, man, you know, Liza, and she's not a good, I said, hey, look, buddy, I don't want to get in the middle of that. I said, whatever y'all got going on was way before me. I said, but now, them kids need help. Now, he told me some things that he thought Liza was doing that wasn't cool, who she was dating, who she was messing with, and I said, I don't care about that. I said, at that time, they were sleeping, I think, in somebody's basement, the whole family. I said, I feel good that I could help them. And I don't remember what was said after that, but that was it. Now, again, I'm not saying this because I just don't condone bullying, and I see where we're going with this internet, and I'm trying to be like the anti that. I'm trying to give a different approach, because it seems like guys get on here and just let their nuts hang and just think that that's what to do, and that's going to help our culture and our community. Anybody could get got. Everybody takes L's. I've taken mine. Y'all seen it on national TV. Got shot up going to my mother's funeral. Oh, and by the way, I ain't snitch on that. Remember, he called the police first. Yeah, my nephew called, as soon as he shot me, he called the police first. He's never had a felony. He had licenses for the guns. He called the police, said I had a gun. So when they came and got me bleeding, leaking, threw me on the ground before I even got to the hospital, he said, where's the gun? Because they've been wanting me in Boston. He knew what he was doing. We go back and forth. I get to the grand jury. They ask me who, I don't know who did it. Went in court. Is he in the court? He was big head ass sitting right there, my nephew. I don't know who did it. And he walked. He didn't get no time. It would have been attempted murder. He would have got over 20 years in Plymouth County. Everybody knows that. So solid as they come. All I'm saying is this, when it's all said and done, okay, these platforms aren't used to be trying to bully anybody. Fat Joe was dead wrong to bring that young buck shit up. Dead wrong. I don't know why he did it. He was doing good. I hope he doesn't continue to do this, because it's only going to cause friction and it could lead to more violence. See, I told my story because since we telling, so I got many more stories, many more, but it's like, I'm not trying, I'm 60 now. We got to do better. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and by the way, Triple says and Cuban, I got them a check for writing on that album too. So look at that. Got into the beef with those guys and then ended up working with them like men supposed to. I don't know what Joe's doing. Joe, I think you just need to just go back to the other shit where it's funny and entertaining, because that's what's gonna get you there. That's what's got you there. When you start doing this, it's not it, because everybody got skeletons and everybody can get got. Everybody bleed red. We supposed to, as elder men, the gatekeepers in hip hop, we're supposed to be the anti that. All right? And shout out to Young Buck.